What's going on, golf addicts? David Barnett here with the Tour Junkies. I got Pat Perry with me. We are TJ After Dark, the Tour Junkies After Dark. We just finished recording our own podcast for the WGC Workday from Concession Golf Club in Bradenton, Florida. And Pat, we just got done doing that. It was kind of a wild show, not going to lie. Weird stuff happened. Stuff that's never happened. We've been doing this 6 years. Stuff that's never happened. You're going to have to go check it out to find out. While you're here on the DraftKings page, though, go ahead and click the subscribe button and click the thumbs up. You're going to like the video, we promise, because guess what? We give winners. We gave you a winner last week, 70-1. Max Homa wins the Genesis. We talked about it on this very show. I don't understand, how you don't come here and spend just 20 minutes. We've hit 3 winners in 2021 since January. 166-1 Siwoo Kim, a 35-1 Brooks Koepka, and now a 70-1 Max Homa. 3 winners for us, published winners here on TJ After Dark, as well as our own channels and podcasts and blog. Get with it. Golf betting is where it's at, and we're excited to break down actually not just one event this week, but 2. Now, there's plenty of places you can find course information on these 2 courses. I know Pat Mayo's doing some stuff. You can find plenty of information. Go to our website, tourjunkies.com. We're not going to waste your time with that. We've already done it. We're just going to get to the picks. We've taken a look at the outright odds on DraftKings, and we're going to talk about the WGC Workday first, Pat. It's a new course. We've never been here before. First time being played here. WGC event, top 70 or 72 players here. No cut, so everybody's going to play all 4 rounds. And I looked today, and it looks like the over-under winning score, numbers out there is around that minus 14.5 number, which would indicate a little tougher challenge for these guys than we're used to seeing on the PGA Tour. Now, obviously, Riviera played tough last week, but no 18, 19, 20 unders likely winning the WGC Workday at this Jack Nicklaus design. So how are you going to kind of approach the sports book in terms of who you like?
Yeah, I do think the scores are going to be a little bit higher than we typically see at a PGA Tour event, but a lot of that's because of the fact that this is a new course. They haven't been around this track a whole lot other than the practice rounds that they're going to get, so I think that the scores will be a little bit higher. But, for me, when you look at these WGC events, we do see the cream rise to the top, so I don't know if you're going to see a whole lot of long shots win this week. I'm going to be focusing my bets more on, your shorter to your middle odds guys. I like that area. I'm just not going to take a whole lot of long shots for me this week. But I do think it's a great field. It's going to be, we get, for DFS purposes, there's no cut, so you don't have to sweat that. So we get a little bit of a break from the cut sweats on Friday. So that's decent.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a fun event. I like seeing new courses. But for me, I'm going to go with your more middle to shorter odds guys this week.
All right, well, kick us off for the WGC Workday. Give me some shorter names that you do like, some of the favorites maybe up top.
Well, up top, I do love some JT, Justin Thomas. He is at 18.5-1. I think that's a good number for him. You look at JT, he played well the first few days at the Waste Management a few weeks ago, and then had a family member pass away, a close family member. That was something that was, he's a family guy, and I think that hit him pretty hard. He tried to come back last week. Really didn't play all that well out in LA at the Open there. But I think that here's the thing. The guy is just a fantastic player. I feel like we're getting a little bit of a break here, getting his odds at 18.5-1. They could shorten up maybe, but I don't know. I think that might just be if we get a withdrawal or something. So I think you take advantage of that with Justin Thomas. He checks all the boxes for this course. He's a great iron player. He's a good putter. He's a good scrambler. So I think if you're getting Justin Thomas at 18.5-1, that is a good number for him.
He also missed the cut last week at Riv because he missed nearly 6. He lost 6 shots putting in 2 rounds. That's hard to do. It was on POA greens. This week we don't have POA greens. You have Florida, Bermuda, which he's much more comfortable on. I definitely think don't be afraid of that missed cut, and maybe be thankful for it because it lengthened the odds a little bit on a world-class player like JT, who doesn't need to, come here, in any this doesn't matter. Like the missed cut just doesn't matter for him. He's a world-class player, and I think he's going to be just fine. I love the value on that pick, actually.
Yeah, and he's closer to home. I mean, we talk about that strokes gained home life. I mean, he is, right around the corner from where he lives. So I like Justin Thomas there. And I also like Terrell Hatton. He's at 22.5 to 1. Another guy we've seen in solid form. I mean, really, ever since he won the Arnold Palmer last year, he has just been fantastic.
Yeah.
I love him this week at 22.5 to 1. I think this is a great venue for him. He checks all the boxes as well when you think about the things you got to do well here. Greens in regulation, scrambling, all that kind of stuff. He's a great play. And then I'll say, kind of more in this middle range here. I like Patrick Reed. He is at 31.5 to 1. I love DraftKings numbers. They're giving you a little bit of a 31.5 number. Not just 30 to 1. No, they're giving you an extra 1.5 little bump there on Patrick Reed. I like that. And another guy that plays really well on difficult courses, a great scrambler. You think of a guy that just can grind it out on a course that these guys haven't really seen all that much. I like that for Patrick Reed, so I will take him there in this shorter range also.
Well, Pat, damn, you stole my thunder on P. Reed. I definitely like that play. I like him on a tougher golf course where scores are going to be a little bit lower. And the winning numbers, not 18 under. I like that here. And these greens are tough, and there's a lot of undulation. There's a lot of runoffs. Guys are going to have to get up and down. Reed's great at that. We know that. And he's always overlooked, and he's always long in the odds market despite being an absolute winner. The guy that I like the most in the shorter range that I think you're getting a great value on is Brooks Koepka. 26 to 1 on DraftKings. He just won the Waste Management Phoenix Open, coming off of 3 straight missed cuts, and everybody wondering what is wrong with Brooks. And he comes up and wins a Waste Management, and you, sir, talked him up and wrote him up on your betting card Wednesday night prior to the tournament, so props to you. Finished 38th at Riviera last week, which I'm fine with. Everybody talks about Brooks loves big events, right? Brooks loves the majors. Well, after the majors, it's kind of the Players Championship and WGC events in terms of money, in terms of world golf ranking points, in terms of FedEx Cup point bonuses. This is a big event. It's a strong field. And I like Brooks on a Florida course. He's a Florida boy, Bermuda. Nobody's got a real advantage in terms of course knowledge. I think 26 to 1 is a good number for Brooks. And then I'm going to get into, I guess, a little bit more the mid-tier since you took my Patrick Reed play. Sung J M has not played in 2 weeks. Everybody beware. The kid who plays every single week has had 2 weeks worth of rest, coming off of a good start to the year. Obviously played well all year last year. Sung J loves Bermuda greens, loves putting, chipping on Bermuda greens. He's best at that. And he just checks all the boxes from the iron play off the tee. He's doing just fine. He makes birdies when he needs to. And I think he's a great value at 45 to 1. I love Sung Jae in DFS. I love him at 45 to 1. I think it's a great number. Then I guess I'm going to drop down into the bombs, honestly. I don't know. Cam Smith interests me a little bit, 60 to 1. Just finished 4th at Riviera. Been a little inconsistent of late, but a good scrambler, good grinder. Again, kind of like that grinder mentality with those tougher courses, just like he showed here at Riv. He doesn't tend to do well when it's a birdie fest. So I do like a little Cam Smith at 60 to 1. That might be it for me until we get to the long shots. You got anybody else in the mid range? You ready to get to the bombs?
No, I like the Cam Smith play. I'll tell you another guy that I've been looking at that I like as well, and we saw him play well last week, and that is Matthew Fitzpatrick. He is at 66 to 1. I think in a field like this, a World Golf Championship field, he is a world-class player. We've seen him play extremely well lately. I like him at 66 to 1, and coming off of a good form week at Riviera.
Are you getting back into the Matthew Fitzpatrick love land every week? Because I
am. Well, he helped win me some money in DFS, last week. So,
all right, getting to the bombs. I'll start with Lotto Griffin. I'll steal your thunder on him because I think you like him as well. He's 100 to 1.
Yeah, you stole it, but I stole one from you, so that's okay.
He's 100 to 1 on DraftKings outright. He's 6 to 1 for a top 10. I probably won't be betting a lot of top 20s this week just because the numbers are too short for my liking with only a 72-man field. So I'm going to look at top 10s. I think Lotto has top 10 upside. He's another guy who really plays well on tough golf courses. He embraces the tough golf course. He's 16th in strokes gained approach the last 24 rounds. He putts well on Bermuda. I like Lanto here a lot. 6,700. It'd be a big win for Lanto, but he is a PGA Tour winner and he's contended in tough events. So I think that's value at 100 to 1. And I really like the 6 to 1 top 10 number. Other than Brooks Koepka, and honestly, this may be my favorite value on the entire board, is Mark Leishman. This is crazy. Lotto Griffin, who I just named, is 100 to 1 on DraftKings Sportsbook. He's 6,700 in the DraftKings pricing, a full $700 cheaper than the next guy I'm about to name, Mark Leishman, despite Mark Leishman being 125 to 1 on DraftKings, and I think a tremendous value. I would have thought Leishman in this field would maybe be around the 90 to 1 number. I think 125 to 1 is a great line for him. He is checking the box right now. The irons are dialed in now. He went through a little bit of a patch where he wasn't playing very well. The irons are dialed. He's solid on Bermuda. Finished 32nd at Riv last week, 18th at the Farmers before that. Could have won the Sony, finished 4th at the Sony. It looks like old Mark Leishman's coming back because he went through a little rough patch there, but it looks like he's coming back. He loves Florida golf. He finished runner-up at the Arnold Palmer at Bay Hill, which we'll see next week. He plays well in Florida. I think Mark Leishman at 125 to 1 gives you about as much equity, win equity. Like the guy can win and compete in a big tournament pound for pound due to with those odds than anyone else in the field. I am convinced in the Mark Leishman play, and he's a 7.5 to 1 top 10 number. So I like him a lot. I'll give you one last bomb, and it's Rasmus Hogard, the European Tour staple, who is a young guy, hits it a long way, and has big driver heads. He hits it a long way. Very aggressive young player, makes a lot of birdies, not afraid of a lot. His last 2 events on the European Tour finished 6th and 9th. He's won on the European Tour. Solid player. He's 175 to 1 and 10 to 1 for a top 10. I think that's a good number.
I like that. All right. Well, let me go back a little bit shorter here, and I'm going to go with Justin Rose at 70 to 1. He is a guy that, we haven't seen him lately on tour, but internationally he's played a little bit better. His form is better lately, and you're getting him at 70 to 1. I like Justin Rose there. And then going longer, you stole my guy Alonso, and I thought you were going to steal this guy, but my boy Robert McIntyre, yes, the Scot, Bobby McIntyre, he is at 150 to 1. You know what? And I'm not trying to knock on DraftKings Sportsbook here, but maybe they haven't picked up on how good he is because he has played extremely well recently. He is a great iron player, has plenty of distance. He's a good scrambler. The only thing where he struggles a little bit with is his putting, but I've seen him as short as 90 to 1 as far as odds on books overseas. So we're getting him at 150 to 1 on DraftKings Sportsbook. So I like some Bobby McIntyre there at 150 to 1. He is my long shot play this week.
I like it. Let's talk Puerto Rico Open real quick. This is the second year they've played at the Grand Reserve Country Club in Puerto Rico for the Puerto Rico Open. Last year was the first time Victor Hovland won at 20 under. This is a birdie fest. You got to come in here ready to make a bunch of birdies. Hit it a long way, hit it close, make putts, score a bunch of birdies. That's the formula here. I do think distance matters. You got a lot of Korn Ferry Tour guys here. You got some PGA Tour guys. You got some veterans. It's an interesting field. I like it from the betting market. Let's run quickly through some names that are catching our attention there. At the shorter to mid-range, I like Taylor Pendrith and Grayson Sigg, a couple of Korn Ferry Tour studs who will be on the PGA Tour, I'm quite confident, next season and have a chance to get there quicker with a win and maybe that battlefield exemption. Both of those guys are 35 to 1. Great players, hit it a long way, playing well right now. First Korn Ferry Tour event of 2021 was just last week. Both those guys played pretty well. So 35 to 1, I like that. But my favorite range is the 55 to 1 range. There's 3 names at 55 to 1. Bronson Burgoon, Will Gordon, and Davis Riley. My favorite of the bunch is Will Gordon. Played pretty solid here last year and seems to have upped a little bit of his game lately. I've been paying attention to him been playing the West Coast swing on the PGA Tour. He's known for being one of the longest hitters on tour, but it looks like lately other parts of his game are starting to come around. He's a talented guy. At 55 to 1, I like it. Riley and Burgoon I like as well. So those are kind of my shorter mid-range guys, and then I got a couple bombs.
Well, my shorter mid-range guys, I'm going to go with Benny On at 25-1. He's a guy we've seen play and have some good recent form, some good rounds on the big tour. So I do like that at 25-1.
He's
I like Brandon.
He's also been torching people on Twitter. I don't know if you follow.
He really has.
Hunan is a fire Twitter follow. If you don't,
he is a great follow, and apparently he's a fashion guy.
Fashion guy, yeah. Who would have known? If you got bad fashion takes, golf fashion takes on Twitter, set that thing up and tag Byung Hun An and get ready for the heat.
He will bring it. And then I like some Brandon Wu at 30-1. He is another guy we've seen play incredibly well on the Korn Ferry Tour. I like him there. Ollie Schniederjan's coming back. He'd had a good little run on the tour a few years ago, and we've seen him have some good form on the Korn Ferry Tour, so I like him. And then Johnny Vegas at 45-1. We talk about win equity. He's obviously won on tour, so this, there's no moment too big for him at Puerto Rico, so I like him at 45-1 as well. And then I'm going to go Kramer Hickok. Kramer,
yeah,
55-1. Like him.
I can't play any guy's named Kramer.
Why not?
Well, I think of Seinfeld. I didn't even like Seinfeld.
Yeah, that's a great show. Seinfeld. That's even more reason to play him.
Terrible show, but you think about Kramer and Seinfeld, who would have to be like the least athletic TV character of all time. And then I got to hear Kramer Hickok, who sounds like a...
Haven't you ever seen the fact that Kramer hit a damn hole-in-one in the whale's hole, in the top of the whale's hole? What is that thing called?
The blowhole? Is this real life? What are we
had a hole-in-one. So that's athletic ability right there. What are you talking about? You don't even know your Seinfeld.
No, I don't, because I think it's a terrible show. I'm not playing a guy named Kramer.
All right, you go ahead. I got two long. Well, they're relatively long shots, but then you
all right, I'm going to go with Korn Ferry Tour player playing good right now. Played well here at this event last year. Vincent Whaley at 100-1. I like him as a bomb. And then Sebastian Kaplan, who has been on the Tour Junkies podcast before, had his PGA Tour card, lost it. He's battling back on the Korn Ferry Tour, but he actually got to play. I can't remember the event. It was either the Farmers or the Amex. Played pretty well. Had his first decent finish in a long time, and his agent told us that he went back to his old swing coach at home, kind of found a little something, hitting it better. He's a long player, very aggressive. He's been around the block a little bit on these Korn Ferry Tour, like PGA Tour alternate events, so he knows you got to come out here firing. You can't come out here being patient, looking for pars and jumping on your birdie chances when they come. No, you got to make the birdies happen out here, and Sebastian Kaplan knows that. 150-1 is an interesting long shot to just sprinkle, a few little points on or whatever you want to do. So that's it.
All right, a couple more for me. Scott Brown at 90-1. He's had some good rounds on tour this year, but hasn't really put four together. But he's won here at Puerto Rico, so I like him at 90-1.
Not at this course, but he has won the Puerto Rico.
Well, yeah, he's won Puerto Rico. And then Peter Uline at 90-1. Also, another guy we've seen put a few rounds together recently, play good on the Korn Ferry Tour, and also the PGA Tour. I like him as well at 90-1. So there you go.
Peter Uline. Okay. Okay, I think that's probably where we need to stop. So thanks for watching Tour Junkies After Dark presented by DraftKings. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up, give it a like, comment on whether or not you like Seinfeld. Do you like Seinfeld or not? Are you a Seinfeld guy, girl, or are you not? I am not. I don't. So there you go. Thanks. Check out the Tour Junkies YouTube channel as well. Hope you have a great week. Let's hit another winner. May your screens be green. See ya.